Welcome everyone to the Things Around 8. Imagine a country that, for decades, avoided discussions about military power. A country whose tragic history has made it reluctant to show its strength. But then, an unexpected event shook Europe and forced this country to rethink everything. That country is Germany. And that is the story of how Europe's largest economy is undergoing a dramatic transformation in its defense posture. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz gave a historic speech to the Bundestag, the German parliament, which became known as the Zeitenwende, or turning point. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any news. In it, Scholz made a statement that echoed across Europe. In harsh words, he said Germany needed to take greater responsibility for Europe's security. And as you will see, they didn't just talk. Germany has been taking a series of measures to modernize and strengthen its armed forces, the Bundeswehr. The objective is clear, to make Germany the backbone of defense in Europe. But how exactly do they intend to do this? We will now show you behind the scenes of the German military transformation. It all started on February 27, 2022, just days after Russia invaded Ukraine. In an emotional speech to the Bundestag, Chancellor Olaf Scholz said Russia's invasion of Ukraine marks a turning point. It threatens the entire post-war order. At this time, it is our duty to support Ukraine as best we can in its defense against Putin's invading army. We need to support Ukraine. We need to support Ukraine. Scholz then announced the creation of a special fund of 100 billion euros to modernize the German armed forces and the commitment to spend more than 2% of GDP on defense, finally meeting the NATO target. It was a historic moment that signaled a major shift in Germany's security policy. You're probably asking yourself, but why does Germany need to invest so much in its armed forces? The answer is simple. The Bundeswehr finds itself in dire condition after decades of mismanagement and little investment since the end of the Cold War. Parliamentary Commissioner for the Armed Forces Hans-Peter Bartels summed up the situation well. Everything takes a lot of time and costs a lot of money, and he is right. The situation of the German defense forces was quite precarious until then. There was a lack of basic equipment, and to make matters worse, the acquisition processes were extremely bureaucratic and slow, with a great dependence on expensive external consultants. An emblematic example of this was the Heron TP drone fiasco. Germany spent hundreds of millions of euros to rent these drones from Israel, but they were never used in combat due to technical problems and certification delays. Meanwhile, other European countries have been operating their own drones for years. To solve these chronic problems, Germany decided to invest heavily in modernizing the Bundeswehr. In addition to the special fund of 100 billion euros, the annual defense budget has also been significantly increased, from around 47 billion in 2021 to almost 60 billion in 2023. These resources are being used to acquire new equipment, such as F-fighter planes, -35, CH-47F Chinook heavy transport helicopters, Iris TSLM air defense systems and Boxer armored vehicles, among others. Added to this, the German defense industry, led by companies such as Heinmetall and Krauss-Maffei-Wegmann, is working full steam ahead to meet demand. But it's not just a matter of buying new equipment. Germany is also investing in the restructuring and professionalization of the Bundeswehr. New commands were created, such as Cyber and Information Command, and reforms are being implemented to streamline acquisition and management processes. In addition to strengthening its own military capabilities, Germany is also taking a leading role in European defense. One of the main initiatives in this regard is the creation of a permanent combat brigade in Lithuania, a country that borders Russia and feels particularly threatened. This is the first time Germany has carried out a permanent deployment of this type since the end of the Cold War. As Defense Minister Boris Pistorius explained, just as Germany benefited from the presence of Allied troops during the Cold War, now its partners expect Berlin to assume its responsibility and exercise leadership. Germany is also intensifying military cooperation with other European countries. One example is the Future Air Combat System, FCS, project, which is being developed jointly with France and Spain. FCS will include not only a new generation of fighters, but also drones and other integrated systems. All of these initiatives show that Germany is taking its role as the backbone of European defense seriously. but the road is still long and challenging. Despite major investments, it will take time for the Bundeswehr to become a fully capable, modern military force. Furthermore, Germany needs to deal with sensitive issues such as the export of weapons to countries in conflict and the use of armed drones, which is still taboo for many Germans due to the country's Nazi past. Another question is how Germany will position itself in relation to the United States and NATO. Although the Germans are taking on more responsibility for European defense, there is no doubt that the United States will remain the main guarantor of the continent's security. Finding an appropriate division of tasks and avoiding duplication will be crucial. As you can see, Germany's transformation into the backbone of European defense is a process still fraught with challenges. After decades of reluctance to take on a more assertive military role, Berlin is finally facing up to its responsibilities and investing heavily in modernizing its armed forces. This process will not be easy or quick, but it is absolutely necessary in the face of growing threats to Europe's security, from Russian aggression to terrorism. As Chancellor Olaf Scholz said in his historic speech, Germany will be the country that will bear the greatest responsibility for Europe's security in the future. If Germany can deliver on this promise, it will have a profound impact not only on European defense but also on global politics. A stronger and more united Europe, with Germany as its military backbone, will be a much more influential actor on the world stage. One thing is right. Germany is a country we should keep an eye on in the coming years. The decisions made in Berlin will shape the future of European security, and by extension, the world. And who knows, maybe one day we will look back and see Olaf Scholz's Zeitenwende speech as a historic moment, the turning point for European defense. What is your opinion on Germany's ambitions? Do you believe they are correct in reviewing their more defensive posture and becoming more assertive? Leave your reflections in the comments. We hope you enjoyed this analysis, which we prepared with great dedication. And this is today's video. Thank you very much for watching the video. And now I invite you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so we'll see you more often, and so you'll be up to date with everything that's happening.